I did it again. Same rules apply, but because the last video was on the pre-sequel, I expect people to actually come in and watch the video on the good game. Rule 1, if I get hit, I must save quit. This also reloads whatever map I'm on, so 9 times out of 10, I'm redoing a lot of progress. Rule 2, so that I don't rot away on an impossible challenge, I'm abusing shield, which is like an extra health bar that the game gives you. You may call it cheating, I call it shut your bitch ass up. Rule 3, no legendaries because I hate myself. And the game hates me too because it gave me a lot of legendaries I had to pass up. Rule 4, no badass rank, because apparently plus nothing in gun damage is going to make a big difference. And rule 5, which is optional to you if you're dumb enough to try this, but mandatory to me. My shield's capacity must be lower than my max health, and so that this run would be a lot easier than just beating the game without a shield. If that didn't mean I got fight for your life, or redid everything if I died. Anyways, after the events of the last game, Handsome Jack is now the big boss of weapon manufacturer and Rule 34 host, Hyperion, as Handsome Jack wants to turn the planet of Pandora into Gundora, which sounds cool, so I'm killing him so I get to be the big boss instead. That didn't go so well. So I started my adventure by actually being able to choose my character instead of the game literally forcing me, meaning I would pick Zero. You could suggest I play Axton to distract enemies with a turret, or Maya to hold enemies in place, or Krieg if you're a cunt, but with Zero I can turn invisible, meaning I now have the amazing strategy of being able to run away with less chances of getting hit. Anyways, we woke up to see all them losers from before dead, only to find an annoying robot talking to himself about how he was the main protagonist from the game before, and was now wanting to kill himself. So as I tried to run away from him, I sort of accidentally fell on a fire barrel and took damage, meaning I'd listened to his entire monologue again and now follow him to his bunker where he got molested by a monkey. At this point, the robot is going on about how he wants to take revenge on that monkey, but my sniper was uglier than me as a baby, so I abandoned him, opened a door, and then went to the giraffe DLC. Here, Mordecai will help you take out the enemies in this area, so of course we can abuse the fact that him killing enemies gives you a piss ton of XP, so we can just hide and let him level us up to level 5. Also getting an okay sniper from my vending machine, which for some reason is level 7. I don't know. Blame Mandy. The actual game was piss easy by level 1 shot. The boss fight was about as easy as pressing G. However, the skyrocket is easily able to accidentally deal damage, so I should stop using that soon. So moving on to Liarsburg, we have a problem. Guns. You see, not only do I not have a shield, but now enemies can hit me from far away. This is bad. However, I found a hidey spot which got me past a good few of the enemies here. The only real scary part was that there was one left who I couldn't reach from my position, meaning I'd have to get close. And I killed him anyway. Never mind, that wasn't too bad. I even got a pretty good shield, and I can't use it. As I waited for Claptrap to go to a psychologist, I decided to go kill some easy bully monks for experience. But I for some reason ran up to them only to get wombo comboed into oblivion, reminding me that although I'm an amazing gamer, I'm also an idiot, which is why I decided to kill them afterwards using the grenade that could easily kill me, and somehow that worked. So, to escape the hellhole known as the tutorial, we have to go to a boat, which involves us going through a gauntlet with a ton of enemies, 2 boss fights, a section where we have to kill a badass marauder, and oh, this was really easy. With any section where mobbing was required, I just sat back and clicked on their heads. And as for Boom Boom, I again pressed G. But the Skyrocket has the potential to kill me, so I farmed Boom Boom to level 8. However, there was a pretty big roadblock in this area, and that's the fat fuck known as Captain Flint. Because someone decided that one of the first bosses you face should not only come with 70 other guys, should also have an invincibility phase, should also have fire spread across the entire map, and is immune to fire, so I can't use my amazing tap G and win strategy, meaning I would have to actually try. But when I inevitably die because I'm bad at games, I would redo the entire section leading up to him. And even though I ran past literally everyone here, and even though I skipped an entire section, it would take forever to climb up the area. Hold up. And that was me being generous. Anyway, that wasn't an amazing strategy from Captain Flint, I just didn't suck this time and I beat him. I'll cut straight to the chase. These next 2 chapters we didn't die once. So, speedrun. On our mission to stop Jack, we have to go to Sanctuary, meaning I'd have to grab a car, which is scary as damage to it counts in my book, but it was just bully monks who I easily gunned down. Then to get into Sanctuary, they want me to get a doodad, so I went into a bandit camp, killed their friend, grabbed the thing, and left. Well, I just did some ob jogs for Sanctuary because the game said I had to. However, I saw my first glances as to how useless the Crimson Raider group is. Not only did the leader easily get kidnapped, but the town's a wreck, and you've got a shitty dealer who wanted me to give him crack, which I did because it was funny, but still. And then they wanted me to go save their leader, which I really didn't want to do, but once again the game forced me to. So Frostburn Canyon was where the difficulty was beginning to ramp up, and by that I mean I was beginning to get more shit. First I died to my own Skyrocket, which, let's be honest, it was a long time coming.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Then I opened an ammo crate only for this guy to jump me by surprise. And funny enough, I didn't die to him, instead I died because I stood next to a barrel. Can I just say barrels are the stupidest thing about this game? And I will rip off the balls of whoever made this a thing. God damn it, Randy. On the plus side, we were able to grab the last guy, which is an OK SMG. Also, it turned out that the guy who kidnapped Roland was actually his girlfriend LARPing as a kidnapper, which is ironic because she was doing this and then he got kidnapped for real. So, my plan for this section was to just hide here and let Lilith deal with everything. However, I got cocky and decided to go make some coffee, where what looks like the moment I left my computer, I fucking died. Where after redoing the entirety of the level, seriously, redoing maps is the most annoying part of this challenge, I killed myself again with a skyrocket, finally sold it, died on my way to Lilith in gameplay that actually makes me cringe. Seriously, what the fuck was I hoping to achieve here? And then gave up trying to hide from enemies, which somehow worked. I sure hope the next section isn't exactly like this, but even longer and a lot more claustrophobic. Yeah, who am I kidding? So now I have to actually save Roland with the first step to destroy 5 cars. Obviously, using a car is just a death wish because it's going to take damage incredibly easily. So I'm given the joy of killing these on foot. This took a while, and just before we enter the Fun Palace, we have a boss fight and he's dead already. So I farmed him until I reached level 14, and for some reason I vividly remember dying while doing this, but I never did apparently. And then we reach... Okay, the level itself is pretty easy, like seriously mobbing here has not been an issue at all. Well, the problem here was this guy, because he has a rocket which wipes my shield instantly. It was always him spawning when I least expected it, and remember, each time I die, I have to redo everything, with 2 forced mobbing sections which I would slowly and carefully go through. So I eventually just gave up and wiped him with the rocket launcher. Get a taste of your own medicine, bitch. Roland got kidnapped by a toaster, with robots now being introduced, which I could just easily wipe out by shooting them in the arms. But this is where I'm gonna sneak in that twice here. Drop reload my sniper rifle, and just have it fuck off into the void. So that was cool. Thankfully my shitty pistol was enough to wipe out the toaster, but nonetheless I was a little peeved. So after I rescued the so-called leader of this group, I thought to myself, if they want me to mindlessly go along with everything they want me to do, why don't I do a little trolling? And by that I mean nuke the entire town. You know, casual prank. So I went here, burned some insects for some reason, helped a child blow up a train so I could grab a nuke, died trying to do so, and then went face to face with this guy. It's a small problem. My guns don't do shit. The main weapon I have here is fire, which Wilhelm is resistant to, and everything else I had was more or less tickling him, apart from the shitty green corrosive pistol, which comparing this to everything else in my arsenal is like me comparing the shit I took this morning to the shit I took last night. I'd rather stab myself in the eyes than put either of these in my hands, but if I had to, I'd use the less sloppy one. So anyway, so I died after killing Wilhelm, died because I thought I had to kill him again for the bomb to come back, and then it turned out to come back. So that's cool. So with nuke in hand, I decided to do a little bit of trolling, and by that I mean I bombed the entire town, before Lilith teleported everybody out of there and into an identical sanctuary. Because of course, when I need them to be useful, they force me to do things, and then when I want to kill them all, they decide to get a brain cell. But of course, you can't hide away from me forever, so I went through the entire world, the Arctic, Scotland, just so I could see their faces when I took that fast travel and saw them there. And yes, I managed to do this entire holdout section without dying. Don't ask, I have no idea either.
You? Damn it, we told you never to contact us again.
Fuck you, Roland. I only decided to kill everyone you know and love. So now that I was more or less banned from Sanctuary, I decided to go kill Mordecai's pet bird because fuck him. However, to do so, we need to go through the entirety of the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve. And my experience of doing this is like if I asked you to play a song on the guitar with your balls. But not only do you have to restart each time you mess up, but you also lose a finger each time. Okay, not like that, because that would be preferable. Because before I even started the mission, I would have to increase 2 levels if I even wanted to attempt it. So I decided, hey, Mobley and Gettle aren't too hard, I bet I can easily do that. Cars. So after what felt like ages trying to reach the first half of this side quest, only to be met with another roadblock. As to reach this area, we have to go through the entirety of the dust on foot, which was a fucking death wish. So I traveled to where you're meant to have the bosses spawn, and then go to the Gulag, do the side quest, and then farmed Mobley and Gettle to level 19. And yes, I got Lyuda, and yes, it made me very sad. Now the preserve itself. Our first hurdle is to actually get inside, because for some reason the cunt known as Randy decided making you wound X amount of robots instead of killing them was very fun. And as we continue, we get more guys with guns, annoying drone things which zap my shield, this guy who managed to use the power of God and enemy to one-tap me, and then followed by a skag who can destroy my shield because it has electricity powers. Keep in mind this element is random, and it just so happened to be the element that wipes my shield instantly. Yes, I'm playing the RNG card and not the skill issue card, fuck you. And while I was running past like a badass, Jack rang me on my Resident Evil 4 telephone. I was confused as to why I was doing what I was doing. Told him I was going to troll him too and hang up. Anyway, the God's blessing was upon us, because there's another location in the preserve, and by going here, it meant we now had a checkpoint. Mean that for the next big arena, with a badass invisible guy and a loader, I would have to game harder than I ever gamed before, and it wasn't that bad. And now it's time to kill Mordecai's pet bird, because funny and...
No,
That's a lot of damage!
Oh god, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. So Bloodwing, easily the most annoying fight in the game. Not only attacks damage over time, but there's no cover and more enemies can spawn, and if I die, I redo most of the preserve. This challenge is certainly easier than pre-sequel. One issue that this run constantly has is that there is almost one enemy who acts as a roadblock, with everything else only occasionally killing me. Anyway, my amazing boss strategy of kill them all before they kill me, and I really don't care. And neither did Roland, because the fucker definitely had something against the bird, because now he trusts me again and wanted me to give his crush a love letter. Whatever, I'm down. So we're back to 2 chapters in a row being piss easy. I went over to Roland's crush while slowly chipping away at his men. Gave him that note, which offended the poor guy so much they sent all his men after me, because apparently the phrase "don't shoot the messenger" is uncommon around here. Brooke was able to calm down, where Jack, still unsure whose side I was on, decided to send his bots, which just went for Brooke as I sat back and sniped them. And because of this, I went over to another area, stole his voice, and I was able to fight the bunker. Psych. One leveled as shit, meaning more side quests and farming. Yay! And this for some reason was a complete fucking nightmare. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I didn't want to do what I did in my pre-sequel run and just farm the same things whenever I needed XP. So my first plan was to try and do the Gov mission and farm this bitch to level 24, only for me to die and the mission to break. So my next plan was to do the Bane quest, and this was a mistake. Not only did I have to travel across, but the area we're in was mostly over-leveled, which wasn't a problem at first, until literally just as we're about to turn in the side quest, and where making our way past these guys was literally impossible. So I gave up and found this guy, giving me 2 hammer busters as another fuck you from the game. I could have continued to bash my head against a wall and turn this in, but I couldn't be arsed or whatever. So let's talk about bunker. So because I thought I'd be funny, I decided to go kill Jack's daughter. Don't know why, I just did. However, this would also mean Roland would come too, meaning I could blame him and get him killed too. It also meant a massive ball ache, main in this fucking room. Not only were there shit ton of enemies, but I'd also have a turret and next to no ammo. It didn't go very well. Possibly would have helped if my sniper wasn't complete doo-doo ass, but I just don't care anymore. Found a slightly less nerfed tier sniper rifle, killed the constructor, killed these guys, killed some turrets, killed another constructor from far away, ran away, and now we're here. And this was also complete AIDS, because we have to kill turrets in a row because save quitting resets these guys, whilst with 0 cover, and then the boss fight, who I was expected to be the easiest fight here, my guns didn't work, so I had to farm a multi-pellet gun only for the game to then spin me a sham, so thanks. And then, as if I wasn't completely done, a big room with a lot of enemies and next to no cover. Okay, I won't lie, this was the most hopeless I felt, mainly because there's one phase where literally everything is thrown at you, where I have no idea how to beat this, but whatever, I did. My plan worked, apart from the fact that Lilith came in and got kidnapped and snitched to everyone, so now I'm banned from Sanctuary again. Not before I rubbed into these bitches that I got their beloved Roland killed. I found bunker to level 28. Yeah, I've not really got a plan for the story anymore, so I'm gonna introduce you to another worse map. Sawtooth Cauldron. First, we have to kill 4 special enemies, who are a massive pain in my asshole. Actually, never mind, that was just shit. So when I decided to actually use my brain cell, I was able to whittle these guys away with corrosive damage. It took a while, but whatever. After that, I went through an annoying hallway with enemies, then blew up a flyy thing, then blew up more flyy things. If you can't tell, this section just sucks and I want to move on. So because Gear Bonk is still padding for time, we are now in the first level of BL1. So we need to turn some valves, and I'll be honest, I just wasn't even trying at this point. But this is also where we introduced the rocket launcher enemies, because Randy's a cunt. I'll be honest, like doing this section is really easy. I just don't care. So I'm gonna skip a few and talk the mini boss, aka the bullet sponge, who has a shit ton of rockets, no annoying to dodge, and for some reason I said that I had to kill him at least once. My strategy was to use his little hut. However, over time he'd slowly make his way over and ruin my day. It was only doing Ring Around the Rosie here which let me get past him without getting hit, but nonetheless this guy was annoying. I also should mention I did a side quest and now I have the Lady Fist, because I wanted a weapon that dealt insane crit damage. If you think this makes me too overpowered, don't worry, I accidentally saw it in the final area. After setting the shit of killing him, I now had the joy of more enemies with rocket launchers in tight spaces. And no, I'm not talking about Handsome Jack's arsehole. And to even get inside, you have to fight a ton of enemies in this exact spot, or Saturn will tickle your diddle. And also pray that this RPG guide just doesn't blast you to next Tuesday. All I'm saying is that if I had to kill Saturn each time I attempted this, I would have ended up in a psych ward. Okay, after hours of Randy Pitchford making me do random bullshit, we're at the final level. All I have to do is kill him and become the ultimate troll, or whatever my goal at the beginning was. So first we have to open a door and hold out against a ton of enemies. And I won't lie, the fact I beat this first try was giving me false hope. Xero's pass was fine. Mordecai and Brooke tried to kill me, womp womp, and I was having a good time. So the level is more or less the game throwing everything at you just before the final boss. Be it enemies, a constructor who we easily killed from far away, a badass loader who we killed from far away, but this time it took more damage. This was easy, which is why I got cocky lucky and the rocket launcher was able to get me while I was being too big for my boots. And then after this, I don't know why, but I failed over and over and over and over again. I also lost 2 of my best guns, so I had to go to Wham Bam. Wham Bam. Wham. One Bomb Island, where I found an okay sniper and rocket launcher. Well, I immediately did much better and beat it on my next try. Who am I kidding? I beat it on the attempt after, where I opened a chest just before the end where I got a World War Pandemic. Randy bad. Also, for some reason, when I went into the vault, I decided to open this chest, which has you go into lava, which kills you. I'm an idiot. So with how bad Hero's past was, you'd expect Jack and the Warrior to be just as bad, and I beat them both on my first try. So I killed Jack, was gonna kill Lilith, only for Brick and Mordecai to come out of nowhere, so I legged it and beat Borderlands 2 without taking damage. I'll be honest, was this one harder than the pre-sequel? God no. I think it helped that I actually chose a character fitting for this challenge, and even Axton or Maya could have done this a lot better. But oh well. And if you're someone who complains about me doing this on normal mode, well,
Kill yourself.